This
Hey,
conference will now be recorded.
what?
Did you get trained as a mod?
No, I did not, and
Okay,
I want.
we've got one coming up. Well, I'll let you know. I'll make a note as well. So we've got one coming up.
Oh,
Okay,
I didn't know that Alyssa was now a moderator. You'll have to shoot me your email,
I
Alyssa,
Oh,
or
like
I
to
thought that
see.
was
an
done.
AnCan one.
I thought that was done with Alexa
No,
Yeah,
because
before.
she had problems with her roof, and then it never happened.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll get it, but that's fine. We'd love for you to be a moderator. We need more moderators. We'd love for you to join the club, and so yes, okay, we'll sort it.
Do you want an AnCan email address, Alyssa, or not?
Sure,
Yeah, we'll give it to you. It's so
that
Okay.
would
easy.
be cool.
I just
Yeah.
like it to keep my personal and that stuff separate, or else my inbox gets confusing.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah,
Yeah.
Okay. But
Let me know
we're
when
going to do
Alyssa
it,
has
and
her email set up and then
yeah, and
email
this
it
is
to us.
all being recorded, but it doesn't matter. But we're also going to offer any mod who wants to get a refresher the opportunity to come in as well. So
I always
if
Please
need a
let me know when the
refresher.
training is.
I think I do too, to be honest.
I always need a refresher.
Well, just tell me when it is, and I'll be there.
Yeah, I've got we've got a new person that's recently started with us, and I'm going to have her coordinate it. And she has a history in training, but she doesn't have a history with AnCan. So, but yes, and we'll add you to the. What we'll do is we'll add you to the moderator list, and then we're going to send an email out to all the moderators, and then they'll sign up from there. Sorry about that. Now you can really start your meeting. Sorry, everybody who had to listen to this rubbish.
Are you sure?
Yes.
All right, I'll go out and start the introductions. Let's see, today is 9/9. My name is
Did,
Kim. I live in Des
did we
Moines,
did we
Iowa.
start the meeting yet?
Yeah,
Did
I'm
we
trying
start
to
the
start
meeting
it.
recording yet?
I'm
Oh
trying to
gosh, well that's
start.
great for me. Your
In Des
voice.
Moines, Iowa, currently on Ocrevus, relapsing remitting, diagnosed in 2012. The next one on my screen is Andrea. Welcome and introduce yourself and let us know if you need time tonight.
Yeah, my name is Andrea. I live on the North Carolina Outer Banks. I was diagnosed in 2012. I am on Ocrevus. Yes, I think I would like a few minutes, um, and maybe early on. I don't know if I'll bounce back, but right now I feel like I'm starting to tumble.
Aid? Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Alyssa. Welcome and introduce yourself and let us know if you need time tonight.
My name is Alyssa. Um, excuse me. I live in Southern California. I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in 2000 when I was 16. I'm currently on Mavenclad. And I always like to talk. Um, sure, I'll take a few minutes.
Okay.
And
Thank
I do actually, I may have to leave early because my caregiver when she gets here, because this meeting is much later than usual.
Will do. Thank you. Juan Carlos, welcome. Please introduce yourself and let us know if you need time tonight to talk.
Yes, hi everybody. I am Juan Carlos. I was born in Puerto Rico. I was diagnosed in 1991. I have relapsed remitting, and I am on Kesimpta right now. Um, I live in Spokane, and I don't know if I need time. I'll decide later. Is that okay?
That's totally cool. Thanks, Juan Carlos. John, welcome. Introduce yourself and let us know if you need time tonight.
Hello. Something tells
Uh,
me it's not working.
nope. I'm here.
Okay, well then talk to us.
Fine, I will turn my mute off and I will talk to you now.
Thank you. Talk to us.
My name's John. I live in mid-Michigan. I was diagnosed in August 2016. I'm currently on Zeposia, relapsing remitting, multiple sclerosis. And yeah, I'd like a little bit of time tonight. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you,
Oh yeah,
John.
and my camera is not working. Like drivers
Bummer.
issues and stuff like that. So yeah, no me tonight. Sorry.
Okay, that's fine. And then welcome, Carrie. Introduce yourself, and we'll give you. Are you new? Have you been here before?
I don't think I've been to this meeting. I've met Alyssa before on a different meeting. Um, but not to this one. My name's Carrie. I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina, so it's nice to have another North Carolinian here. Um, I was diagnosed about 3 months ago. So I have been hopping to different groups, kind of just taking in all the information since it's so new for me. And I'm currently on Kesimpta.
Okay. And then how did you hear about us?
The other, I don't have it on my list right now, the under 45 AnCan group.
Oh yeah, with Hannah. Oh yeah,
Hannah?
she's
Where are
amazing.
you from?
Yeah. Um, Hannah, whenever I reached out to her to tell me about the under 45 group, she sent me a list of all of them. So that's how I found this group as well.
Oh, awesome. Glad you're here. And last
Yeah.
but not least, Sherry, welcome. Introduce yourself and let us know if you need time tonight.
I'm Sherry from Northern Lower Michigan. Diagnosed in 2008. And I don't know if I need time. I'm just here.
Okay. Thank you. And then we got a new one. Alex, welcome. Introduce yourself and let us know if you need any time tonight. Are you here for the multiple sclerosis meeting?
Yes, yeah, so
Excellent.
my name is Alex. It's my first time here. I know from previous recordings, you guys have talked about um, like when you were first diagnosed. So I was diagnosed January of this year,
Oh,
and I'm
maybe.
currently on Tysabri, which is a once a month infusion.
Okay.
And yeah, I'd like time to talk.
Excellent. And then where'd you hear about us from, Alex?
So I've been working with a therapist, and she did some research and found this
Oh, cool.
online, and so I've been watching on the side and finally, got the courage to hop on and say hi.
Oh, great you found out. Yeah, we're pretty easygoing bunch here, so don't be scared. What's I gonna say? Oh, where are you from?
I'm from Rancho Santa Margarita here in California, Southern California.
Nice. Got another
Yay!
Californian. Alyssa's from
Got another
California.
Californian.
And then if Karen pops on, she's from California too. Okay, well, I'm gonna kick it off here. Do you guys, both Carrie and Alex, are you guys on the email list so you get notifications when the meetings are?
I
If
am not.
if you want to, you can put your email in the chat. You can send it directly to Rick or someone, and we can put you on the email list. But
Okay,
I'm gonna have Andrea start us off.
Thanks, Kim. Um, I am so glad you guys decided to join us. We love it when new people come. There was something else when you guys were introducing that now is already gone, which is going to go well with what I want to talk about tonight. Before I get into that, this summer I have been taking pottery starting at the local community college starting in I guess that was the spring semester. And so I've had one semester of pottery and I signed up for it again in summer because my teacher was excited about this alternative firing class that they had okayed for to teach. And Um, so she was so excited about it, she convinced me to sign up for it over the summer. So I did, but the class didn't make. There weren't enough people that signed up for it, but it was a small enough group, enough people to make it worth her while, but a small enough group that it would fit. She could fit the class in her studio, which she calls Liquid Earth. And so she decided to have the class at her studio. And we spent the summer making all these pots to put into, not to kiln fire, but to put into, kind of a brick fire. But I mean, to the point where we have like the chemicals, we have wrapped in tinfoil, like all we need to do is fire it. But then, like, fall semester at College of the Albemarle started up, and so, she's a teacher there, and we're all students and signed up for classes. So, I'm making this a very long story, but we got around to this pit fire this past Friday, and we're not done. We were only able to get like half of our stuff into this first firing. But so we dug a pit, and we, made a fire and covered it up, all the stuff. And, I did a lot of sitting down, and people were fabulous with not making me work too hard. And luckily it was pretty cool out. Wasn't super duper hot. The fire itself was. And I am a firebug. I love building fires. And so I kind of did that part as my addition to the whole thing, was helping to get the actual fire itself. So anyway, it was just really tiring, but it was really, really fun. And I think that might be part of why I'm really starting to fade tonight and get really tired. So it's a good thing. But all good things come with effects. So there's that. But I just had my Ocrevus infusion, right after, like the day after the Labor Day, like that Tuesday. And I felt like the world was spinning around me kind of the month of August. I I paid, well, all my bills are, as much of my bills as possible are, auto paid. But I missed some things in the mail. I missed emails. I missed a payment somewhere. Like, I don't think I have my pills right, even yet. I don't feel like I'm taking all of my pills. Like, it just doesn't feel like there's enough in my hand. But when I put my pill box together, they're all, all my containers seem like, anyway, so I called the pharmacy and my gabapentin. I don't know how long I haven't been taking my gabapentin, but I have noticed that my legs have been really twitchy at night as I'm going to bed lately. So maybe now I remember why I was taking the gabapentin. Um, So then I had my infusion, and I do feel like the fog is slowly starting to lift. And I've heard people talk about this crap gap. And I don't know, I thought of it like, oh, their legs get weaker, or I don't know, their vision gets worse, or, whatever those types. I've never really put thinking together with the craft gap. So maybe for me, that's the thing. And I have an appointment with my neurologist in December, but it's really frustrating. But I don't know. Do you think it's that I'm right in thinking craft gap?
Could be one of the factors. It could also just be you had a rough time of year. The gabapentin could have thrown you for a loop, not being on certain medications. It could be a variety of reasons. And it could just be it's just something you're going through. I've had the temporary cognition, reading comprehension issues, so it could be something like that. It's just a transient thing.
Andrea, I know that I was off gabapentin for like 4 or 5 days because we didn't have
Yeah.
it right. And I felt like going through withdrawal. I mean, I looked up like why I couldn't sleep at night, why I was always hot in the day, blah 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 blah. And I was going through withdrawal syndromes. Does any of that kind
Oh,
of compare with what you have going on?
yes. So, I mean, did you feel cognitively off too?
Um, yes, to the point where I was just like so angry and in like nervous pain about it that I was very uncomfortable. Like more
I
tingling in my
call my
extremities, stuff like that.
I call my mom every Saturday morning, and one Saturday morning in August, um, I got a knock on the door, and it was a police officer, and he was doing a welfare check, and
Oh,
I couldn't tell you what we talked about or what we said, but I sat out on my front porch and talked to him for a few minutes and came back inside, and it was like 3:30 in the afternoon, and I was asleep. And so I like opened all the windows and blah blah blah, and I couldn't find my phone. And I spent a very long time, I don't remember how long, but a very long time looking for my phone and having Alexa call my phone and stuff. Like, it took me forever, and it was out on my porch, on the floor, back in the corner, and I think it might have even, like, the battery might have been dead or something like that. And so I called my mom, did you call the cops on me? And she's like, yes. She said we were talking, we got disconnected. We both kind of live in remote areas. That happens pretty often, but we always reconnect. And she's like, but we never reconnected. You never answered your phone. And I had like a million, voicemail messages from her. I don't remember. I didn't know what day it was. I didn't remember talking to her. I don't remember like getting connected or disconnected or anything. Like why I was in bed at 3:30 in the afternoon. Like that was just weird. It was just really weird. Anyway, I guess that's it. That's what I wanted to share.
Besides potentially overdoing it today with all the fun that you had with the firing for the pottery, how are you feeling?
I'm starting to feel like the fog is starting to lift. My legs are feeling more and more tired. And so, yeah, so going back to the gabapentin, like, do I even want to go back on it? On the other hand, my legs feel pretty crappy right now. I'm really getting very, 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 what's the word? Unhappy with our medical system and especially with pharmaceuticals. I don't think that anything they do for us has anything to do with doing anything for us. All they want to do is line their pocket. And I don't think they care what the effects are when they don't do things right for us. They can cut whatever corner they want to cut. And seeing a doctor is like seeing a pusher.
I think that with the
It's going to tell you to do something natural. They've made the natural plant of cannabis illegal. Illegal federally, illegal in my state. No doctor, if you go see a doctor and you tell them, oh, I'm nauseous, nobody's going to say go home and drink ginger tea. They're going to say here's a pill. Sorry, John, I interrupted you.
Oh no, I was going to say that healthcare is just suicide prevention in the U.S.
In the U.S. Yeah.
The good news is that you have a choice whether or not you want to use the medications or not. I mean, you have the option of taking a drug holiday to see how you feel. Gabapentin has a large therapeutic range, so you can always go to a lower dose if you want to go back on it. I mean, you do have options. You're not, nothing, no one's forcing you to do it. And sometimes it's good to take breaks to see how you feel and see how it really affects you by taking it away. And sometimes you don't really know what it's doing until you take it away.
Well, that I fully agree with. But I also am starting to realize that I don't have much of a choice because nobody has ever researched anything natural that might be able to help keep my legs from twitching all night. The only choice apparently known in this society is something that's chemically put together to make somebody rich. That's my choice between suffering or hurting my body in other ways, like addiction, and Lord knows what else it's actually doing down in the cellular level. Because with my cognitive issues, I don't know or understand it. So I'm sorry. I'm really, Alex and Carrie, I'm not usually this negative. I decided to watch and a little bit of the news last night. And I I just went in like, to my little screen. It's like NBC, CBS, just like your normal, uh, what, corporate now, the corporate whatever news, and it was um something about the president being involved in the biggest pedophile ring ever in world history. It was um the um oh my god, there were so many of them. Um, there was the Department of War. Our president decided to rename the Department of Defense the Department of War. There's two or three more. I have brain fog and MS, but you know, some of those like horror movies, they kind of start out with the news on in the background talking about whatever disaster either is or is about to happen in the movie. Like if it's a meteor strike, they're on the news like, oh, astronomers have seen this thing. Or if it's like The Walking Dead, it's like, oh, there's this outbreak, this new virus or whatever. And then so that's what I felt like last night with the news. It was so bizarre. Of oh, another one was these tweets that our president of the United States is threatening to send military troops into a United States city.
So how did that affect your mental health by watching the news?
Twice. What?
So how did that affect your mental health by watching the news?
I felt like I was in the middle of a horror movie.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe
Oh.
that's something you need to not take part of or do it a different way.
Exactly. But one night I decided to take a look. One night. And this is where I am still the next night at approximately the same time, 24 hours later. Here I am, ready for a civil war to break out next week.
Well, the American news has always been very sensationalized, no matter what channel you use. So it does it's definitely designed to feed on you off of your emotions. So I recommend if you're especially extra fragile because you're going through cognitive issues or you've worn yourself down, that you realize there's some things you might need to limit so it doesn't really make you go down a dark hole that's probably not healthy.
Since I've looked at the news, I should be able to be informed on what's going on in the world without feeling like I'm literally in the middle of a nightmare.
There's ways to stay informed, but you have to do it in a special way. I can't watch newscasts at all. They're too sensationalized for me. I can't do it. They put me in a bad headspace. But I can read other places. Sometimes I have to go out of the US to get news that's more, fat, like without the sensationalism, because the sensationalism's too much for me. But yeah, I have to limit what I take because I just can't deal. It's too much because I know for me, for MS, really affects my mental health, and I have to work way harder with my mental health than I did before I had MS. So I have to be super careful that I don't get sucked into, like, I can't have the TV on and just watch random things. Even commercials are really hard for me, because I can't handle with all the consumerism and like you're not good enough and you're lacking this and you need this, to be. I can't deal with it. So I have to cut myself off on that. And when someone has the TV on and hear commercials, I'm like, why am I starting to feel really crappy? Oh, because the commercials are telling me that I that I suck because I don't have X, Y, and Z. Oh, yeah, that's what my problem is. So, yeah, just you can stay informed, but you don't have to get immersed into everything. Figure out easy ways to get quick breaks. So,
I've
yeah.
been
What other people do for helping with mental health? What do you guys do? What you
I
do or
play
In
don't
video
regard,
do?
games.
yeah.
Juan
In
Carlos, what
regards
did
of
you
the
say?
Yeah, in regards of the news, I found this really good app that you can have on your phone or your tablet. It's called Ground News. And what they do is that they kind of filter the information by bias, whether it is right leaning or left leaning, and they have an area where that they call a blind spot, which is basically telling you, hey, you've been missing out on this information if you turn to lean more leftist or right wing, so that you can get a more balanced input of what's really going on. And they use a big array of publications as the source of the information. So they are very fact based. So they try to limit the sensationalism of the news. So they try to distill it to the facts.
I understand one, Carlos. I do, and I 100% agree with you, except that our president himself put on, I don't know, whatever town hall application they use, Twitter or Truth Social, or I'm not on them. I don't know. But from his mouth, basically threatened Chicago. He's sending in the National Guard.
Okay,
Yeah.
can I jump in a second, Andrea? Um, I
No,
I I I am very I'm very empathetic, but we do our best to keep politics out of AnCan groups,
I didn't
because they're
hear
too volatile, and especially since this is a recorded group, we really can't get into the politics. I feel like you feel, but this is not the forum to speak about national politics.
Sorry, Rick. I didn't mean to get into that much detail, only to say that it has affected me. That was the only point that I was trying to make. And Kim is right. I need to work on my mental health and keep that as best I can. And it's just very, very hard to do in the current environment. And yes, the point is well taken that it needs to be priority number one, and that it's hard. It's really, really hard. So that's it. I'm starting to ramble, Kim. I gotta
Okay.
go on to the next
We'll
person.
go on to the next person. Anyone else want to comment before we go on to Alyssa? Oh,
I mean,
let's introduce Corey real quick. Sorry, Corey,
hey,
you came in
Corey.
late. Go ahead and introduce yourself because we have a couple of new people in here tonight.
Well, thank you very much, Rick. But also, my name is Corey. I got diagnosed with MS back in 2021. I got relapsing remitting. I'm on Ocrevus, and I'll take a few words tonight.
Okay, thanks, Corey. And then what were you going to say, John?
No. Once if Corey wants to go, Corey can go. I've got stuff to talk about. Whoever.
No, Alyssa's going next. I just thought you had a comment
Oh yeah.
before we to
Oh no.
Alyssa.
Yep. Gotcha.
I just wanted to tell everybody I went to my neurologist, and I actually had asked her. I said, Dr. Sykott, is the reason that I'm struggling to really bounce back fully because of the fact that I have been on 8 different medications. And I shouldn't say this with Alex. Alex, plug your ears. When I went off Tysabri and I went numb from the waist down, that completely just set me back so much. And I mean, I'm glad that I now know, but I'm so upset because this was when Tysabri had first come on the market. After it had killed 3 people in the UK, because this was back in 2009, 2008, because I've had MS for so long. And my doctor could not even prescribe the medication for me at UCLA because they didn't do it there. So I had to get a second neurologist at the same time. And like I asked Dr. Sykott, whom I've been seeing for 25 years, I'm like, Dr. Sykott, please don't make me take shots anymore. Because this was back when you took shots, like Avonex Beta Seron. This is a long time ago. Juan Carlos might know about this a little bit more. But
Look at my face.
I'm looking.
Oh,
So I'm just like, I would normally never, like, I would never do anything different than Dr. Sykott wanted me to do. But I was like, I want to do this. Please let me do it. And I'm almost feeling a little regretful. Granted, it was back again in 2008, 2009, 2010. But it's still like, I wonder if I would be where I am today and not being able to walk without my walker and stuff like that had I not tried something that Dr. Sykott really was kind of, Alyssa, I don't want you to do it. But I did it anyways. So that's all I want to talk about. I'm just feeling a little remorse, I guess. But I can't do anything about it because we're in 2025.
Yeah, but when you made that decision, you made the best decision you could at the time.
Yes. Because I never took my shot.
You didn't know it was going to be like, 16 years
No.
later.
Oh, yeah, no, because that was back when there was only the 3 medications, the ABC drugs. And then they came out with something, I was like, yay! And I don't have to take a shot anymore. I just have to have an infusion every month. And I was like, yes. Because I was also young. I think I was 20, 20? 21? No. No, not, I was in my early 20s, I think, when I did Tysabri. But now I'm ancient because I'm 42.
So old, just so old.
I know. But that's that. I'm making Juan Carlos laugh. I'm glad.
Okay.
yes, you have.
Anything else before we go on to the next person?
Nope, that's it.
Any comments? All right, let's swing it over to Alex because he was new and he wanted to talk tonight. So take it away, Alex.
I didn't mean you had to plug your ears.
Hi everyone. Um, I guess a little, background. I was diagnosed earlier this year. Currently have relapsing remitting, so I'm currently, in a flare up. I guess I just wanted to hop on and say thanks to everyone. Um, I've been watching the previously recorded sessions, and I don't know, you guys have offered like so much insight, so much positivity, and also John. I just want to say like thanks because I know
What?
a few months ago you mentioned you went to a concert in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and I don't know, that just gave me a lot of hope. So I just want to say thanks.
Dude, as you saw in that recording, that was one of the best nights of my life.
yeah, and yeah, it gives me a ton of hope, for the future. I don't know. I've been working a lot with my therapist, um, and made a lot of progress. But there's still stuff that sort of linger that I'm fixated on. The future being one of them. So you just offered a ton of insight there, and just not, I guess not. Sorry, I'm just trying to find my words.
Don't
Just
give up.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Like not giving up, and knowing that there's a future out there, um, and not, being, I guess, limited to my disability. So yeah, I just want to
Thank
thank
you, Alex.
everybody. Yeah.
I really
Alex,
needed to
how
hear
old
that
are you?
today.
What was that?
I said, Alex, how old are you?
I am 29.
Oh, you got a great future out of you. You'll be fine.
I hope so. But yeah, like I guess currently what I'm going through is just difficulty moving and getting around, specifically walking.
Hmm.
My legs are super stiff, super tense. Um, yeah, and I know from previous recordings you guys talked about there's a drug that I wrote down. It was
The
Impera.
walking dog.
yes,
Empira?
Yeah.
yes.
It's
I was
generic now.
I was just I'm not even kidding. I knew what Alex was talking about. I googled it and I got it. It'll be in the chat.
Okay, yeah,
Sweet. Thanks, John. And then
Yeah.
that drug, if you have issues with insurance, you can get it really cheap on the Mark Cuban pharmacy.
Is that something that needs to get prescribed? I have a
Yes,
follow
it
up
is
with
a
my.
prescription.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I have a follow up at the end of this month with my MS specialist. So I know I'm gonna bring that up to him. Um, but yeah, yeah, I
Okay,
guess
it's
uh,
over there. And if you just want to Google the MS walking medicine,
mhm.
mine says the walking medicine in my chart. So your neurologist should definitely know what the walking medicine is if you bring it up.
Yeah, okay, I will.
And
Yeah.
you
There
might
may also be
wanna.
other there may be other medications that your neurologist could help you with, like if you have stiffness or neuropathy or
Mhm.
things like that. Like you really need to be communicative with your doctor.
Yeah, he's prescribed baclofen, which is a muscle relaxer.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Good first
Yeah,
step.
uh, I don't know if it works.
You might need a higher dose too
Yeah,
if you're not seeing any difference.
yeah. I don't know. It's hard to say. I tend to feel better in the evenings, and that's typically when I take it. But I know when I don't take it, I still feel better in the evening. So I can't really tell if it does help. But I mean, I keep taking it. But yeah, I know that's something I need to talk to him about. I guess
And then,
I don't want to make this too long, but I just wanted to get you guys' input. I I'm currently working, um, and uh, yeah, I guess I am gonna be let go um, mid October, and I'm thinking about hopping on disability, but I just want to get your take on it. Um, I mean, physically, like I know I can't get out of the house, but I don't know, maybe remote
How
work
long?
or something.
How
Yeah.
how, how long have you been working for?
Well, I mean, I haven't stopped. I mean, since teenage, but yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
So
should
you
you
have
should you should find out if that's what you really want, because once you're in disability, then it's like in or out kind of deal.
hmm
And you only need to have at least 10 years of a record of work, but the more you have on your record, the more money you might get.
hmm
And I am telling you for experience, I went on disability in 2005, and it's better than nothing. But if you feel like you can do, like you were saying, the remote work,
Hmm.
and you feel that that's something that you can do to a comfortable ability, that
Hmm.
you feel like you're not pushing yourself too hard, I would recommend that you work for as long as possible,
Okay.
because then once you're on disability, you'll be limiting your income, and then it kind of works with your head, the whole thing like, oh, I'm disabled and I only make so much money, and you feel limited in a lot of ways.
Hmm.
But if you feel that you can still work and make more money, then I would think more, stay working and try to make as much money for the future, like put money away and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Because things are only just gonna get more expensive, and once you are on a fixed income, life gets tight. That's my experience. But
Right.
it's all up to you, bro. It's all up to you. If you feel that you need to go on disability, then don't let me or anybody convince you otherwise, because sometimes you have to learn where you are and accept it. And I know that you've been diagnosed really recently. I think of all of our experiences. That first year is it's life changing,
Yeah.
and making long-term decisions when you're feeling that vulnerable, it's also difficult, because you're thinking about how your future is going to be, what you're going to lose, and how much can you do, and you start second guessing everything in your life.
Yeah.
But things get better. Your body gets used to the way that you do things. Your brain finds different ways of doing the everyday things. And before you know it, you get used to it and you live a very normal life. That's that reminds me of what my doctor told me when I first got diagnosed. He told me, "Oh, it's MS is a disease that you're not gonna die from, but you're gonna live with it for the rest of your life," which kind of felt like a death sentence at the moment. But
Hmm.
as time has passed, I understand what he meant. He, what he really meant is that in spite of MS, you can still have a good life for the rest of your life. And that took me a long time because he didn't explain it. He just kind of blurred that out at me in a kind of cold way. And it took me a while to understand that he was just trying to help me out. And I understood what he meant. So eventually I made peace with it. It took me a while. Like it will probably take you, but you will make it, bro. You will.
Yeah.
You'll be okay.
Yeah. No, yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah.
Well,
I was going to
Yeah.
back up for
Boy,
just a second, Alex. When you see your doctor at the end of the month, also check out if they can send you to physical therapy and or occupational therapy as
Yeah.
well.
I've been doing physical therapy.
Oh, great, great.
So I'm trying to keep up on that. But yeah.
Okay.
yeah, Juan Carlos said that to an absolute T. Everything he said.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Corey just got on disability pretty recently. It takes a long time. How long was the process from when you first applied, Corey? Do you remember?
Oh, yeah, it was probably 8 months.
Oh, Corey, you were. I have my hand up, so I'll just jump in. You were lucky
Yeah.
because there's people that I know who have been 8 years trying to get disability.
wow.
I I want to say a couple of things on the disability issue, Alex. I think I totally agree with Corey. Juan Carlos gave you fantastic advice, really, really solid advice. Um, if you are going to think about going on disability, a couple of great resources. I put triagehealth.org in the chat window. By the way, you can just click on that and it'll open in your browser, or you can download the chat from those three vertical dots in the chat where it says chat at the top. but Triage Health has some great seminars, webinars. They have great resources, and they also have people who are available for you to talk to one on one. They're a nonprofit. We work closely with them. We're a partner. That they are terrific, and they'll help you think through the pros and cons. Secondly, if you are going to do it, and there's good and bad about this, and I think John and others know that there are disability lawyers. They don't take a huge amount, and they can be really, really helpful because they know their way around the disability world, and many times they know the hearing judges, and they can be really, really helpful. So to do it on your own is difficult. I mean, Kim can talk to you about that. I got disability when I was on hormone therapy. It's been helpful for me. A lot of times, a good reason to do it is if you don't have solid health insurance. But just like Juan Carlos says, you have to have a certain number of consecutive quarters where you've paid in. So I won't keep going because I think there's lots of people with lots of experience here, but you have a couple of hands up, Miss Kim.
Yeah, let's hear. So, what did you want to say, Andrea?
So I applied in in November, and I was approved in May. And I went to a lawyer who said, I will help you if you get denied. And I was very annoyed with him that I came home and filled everything out online. Then they mailed a bunch of stuff to me. I had to write it. Pretty much the same thing I put online. I had to write it out and send it back again. Sent me to some doctor's offices. I'm sure they talked to my doctor, but that was it. And I never had to pay for a lawyer. Nothing. So everybody says you're going to get denied, but I wonder if MS isn't one of those. Wow. So anyway, that was it. So I don't know if MS is one of those diseases or if it's the way my doctor filled it out or what. But I think it's 5 years, 40 quarters, I think is what you need. So if you've been working since you were a teenager, you should be fine.
Carrie?
Yeah, I'll be transparent. I don't have any information about the disability side of things, but I can tell you I'm 34. I'm also fairly newly diagnosed within the last 3 months, and I work from home. I can tell you that with my experience in remote work, it has been one of the ways I've been able to feel like I can still contribute and to work without the stress of having to go someplace. So I would definitely, if you don't go the disability route and do consider looking for other employment, highly recommend remote working.
Yeah.
Um, I know, like I was actually new to my job whenever I got diagnosed. I was about 6 months in, and I'm thankful that I've also found an employer who understands that health is priority and important. So I think if you decide to go employment, I think if you find an employer who has that mindset, I think you can be treated really well. There are also certain employee protections and certain resources that should be available. Oops, I think my sorry.
Oh, I can't hear you now, Carrie.
your Bluetooth headset's dying, so you probably need another source the microphone.
Yep, you're still.
What about now?
Yeah,
Yes.
welcome back.
So sorry. Yeah, my AirPods died. I was on a a different call earlier, so apparently I didn't use them too much. But anyway, what I was saying is that there's other resources that like through an employer that will help you get certain accommodations for a role if requested. So you may consider looking into those as well. So that would be my suggestions, at least, depending on what's happening then.
Okay. No, yeah. Thanks everyone.
Of course.
I'm just gonna say an aside here. I'm embarrassed to say I figured this out like 3 years ago, but since we have a couple newbies on the meeting tonight, I'll go ahead and tell you this. I'm gonna tell you something really elementary, and you're like, duh, but you really got to do it. So one thing that I found that has helped me manage my MS is listening to my body and following my intuition, which sounds really easy, but as soon as we went to school, everything got pushed out of us to like, go, 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 go. So I highly encourage everybody, not just Alex and Carrie, to really listen to your body when your body says, "Hey, I need to lay down or I need to stop." It's like going, "Oh no, no, I need to finish this up." Like, do what your body tells you to do. And anytime your intuition like shakes you and tells, do what your intuition tells you to do because that's what you're supposed to do. So it took me a long time to figure that out. So I'm trying
Kim,
to get you.
I love that statement. It's true.
It's
You
so
you
true.
said it. Yeah.
You have to get out of the society bounds of what you're supposed to do, and you have to do what your body tells you that you can
Yeah.
do.
Be part of the MS bounds.
Yeah, yeah, and like there's times when you're like, oh, your body says I need to lay down, and you're like, oh no, I feel great, and your body's like, no, you need to lay down. I have now learned I go lay down if my body tells me to. So just a heads up, a new diagnoses, my diagnosis, and a good one for us all to kind of remember. So but that's
Yeah.
really helped me manage my MS because I have friends of mine that'll like go all out and do all these crazy things, and then they have a flare, and then they're down for like months, and they may not bounce back. So don't do that. Learn how to manage your MS as best
My
as you can, even
my
though
friends won't let me do that. My friends know when it's been too much. Like when I'm tired, they'll be like, "AJ, your lips are turning down. You are tired. Let's go home." Like,
my
whatever you
husband
say,
can be
guys.
really good about like looks at me like no you're not. I'm like, why? He's like, because you're slurring your words, you're blinking slowly. Yeah, that's not happening. I'm like, okay, and I listen to him because he's right. So but yeah, tune yourself into your body, and that really will help you manage it because it's like your new normal. Like, how do I know what I could do in the past, but what can I do now? And there's a lot of stuff that you can do. So just hang in there. Hi, Mike. I get to see that you dropped in. Can you see us, Mike?
We can definitely hear you, Mike. We can definitely hear you.
Mike's joining us from Colombia. So I know he's
I
on
can hear
camera
his
and we can
TV
hear
in
him, but
Spanish.
Yeah,
I don't
Yeah.
know if he can see us or know that we're here. So
That is so funny.
okay. Carrie, is there anything else that you wanted to talk about since you were new to the group? Is there any questions you wanted to ask or anything you want to bounce off of us? Same thing with Alex. Is there anything you guys you want to ask us or bounce off
I
or
don't
talk about?
think so. I don't think I have anything right now. I think I am very much in the still learning my body stage. I found out that I cannot have whey protein after working out the hard way. Um, so I think right now I'm just kind of in a learning stage of figuring out my body, but I don't really have anything specific to share, but I'm open to answer any questions.
I know for myself personally, and other people, what I did for my mental health before MS and after, I have to work more on my mental health now because the comorbidity with MS and depression is like 50%.
Mhm.
So be aware, like if you're having more issues, like you're kind of down or you're like kind of blah, you might have to do more journaling, getting out in nature, see a therapist, try to be more social, like do things so to keep you out because it's just easier to go down that path. And some people need medication, some people don't. Just keep an open mind.
What
So yeah.
do?
It's so funny you
Are
say that
you?
because I am in therapy. I have a therapist. And then we actually switched my medication after I was diagnosed, but before really all of my symptoms took off. And so we are currently playing which medication works best in this new lifestyle, which some days go better than others, but I
Hey,
100% agree with that.
hey, Carrie, would you ask your
Yes.
dog to do? Would you ask them to do a gene test? Because it's like a mouth swab, and they can find out what medicine works best for you.
That was
Like
actually
my
Mm,
talked about that, Carrie. That was talked about in the group the other day.
was it?
yeah, like I found
Yeah,
out that my Xanax was not the best for me, so now I'm on
Yeah.
Cymbalta.
Okay. Did, hmm. Did I come in at the end of that group, Alyssa? I don't
I
remember
don't
that.
know, but
Or
I have you. I can text you because I have you on my on.
yes, the
Yeah.
chat. Please do, because I would love to learn more about that. I had no idea that that even
I think
existed.
ask Maxwell.
Okay.
Maxwell knows about that.
Okay.
Yeah, tell them I sent you too. Say, Max, you owe John money.
Just be like, you got some stuff to take up with John right now.
Yeah, we got to talk about this.
Bring it
Yeah,
when
that's
Uh,
you
good to
find
know.
out to learn more about it too.
Yes, I will. I'm very curious because my sister, like it runs unfortunately in my family, like I'm sure it does in others. And what works for my mom does not work for my sister, does not work for me. And so like we're all on different medications and it's very interesting how it all kind of works out. But that's good to know. Thank you, John, for sharing.
I'm gonna take my negativity and beat it for the night.
I hope
Asking
you
would
feel better. I
say
hope you get some good rest. Andrea, it was good seeing you.
thank
And we
you.
do
Y'all
have
have
our
a good
meeting
night.
again in 2 weeks on the 23rd at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
Yay, an earlier meeting.
Your mood. Bye.
Bye,
Hi,
Andrea.
Andrea.
Bye, Andrea.
Corey, what did you want to talk about tonight? You said you wanted to.
You know what? I was just gonna say I'm gonna get off too because my caregiver is gonna be here, and I need to eat dinner.
All right. Bye,
Bye,
Alyssa.
guys.
Good seeing you.
Bye.
Well, last Friday I went to the doc, or well, I had my physical therapy as I do every week, and my right leg, my back of my calf was hurting pretty bad, and I wondered, it was hurting since last Monday. And I wondered what was, I didn't know if I pulled a muscle or what was going on. Well, I mean, I don't do nothing. I mean, I can't walk, I mean, I don't, my mobility is terrible. I mean, all I got is my walker, I'm not doing anything. So, I mean, the only thing I'm doing is if I would put down my recliner, so I don't know how I would have hurt it. And I told my therapist that, and she said just my family doctor know, which I did when I went to the doctor on Friday. Well, she kind of felt around there, whatever. Well, she wanted to have an ultrasound done on it, and so I went and had an ultrasound done on it. Well, come to find out, I had a blood clot in my leg.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now, of course, I take an aspirin. I've took an aspirin, a baby aspirin, every morning for the last 4 years. And but she told me to stop my aspirin, and now I'm on a blood thinner that I have to take twice a day.
Eloquid?
And then uh, hold on, let me look at. Yep,
Yep.
I'm on that twice a day, And then after I get done with that for 7 days, then I'm on it for 6 months. And then, and I think they're just trying to get it to dissolve, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm assuming at some point I'm going to have to go back in and get another ultrasound to make sure it's going. Now, I will tell you now that it's going on Wednesday, it doesn't hurt anymore. I mean, you know, on the back of my legs. So I don't know if it is went, you know, dissolved or you know, I don't know what I don't know what it does. But so that's one thing. And then also, you know, being that I can't walk very good and I have no balance anymore. I mean, my equilibrium is completely gone. And you know, I'm dizzy all day long, you know, just, you know, all day long. I talked to somebody and they told me that what I need to do is I need to start taking B12. So I take B12 complex and a B12 methanol. And they said that will help your nervous system um, to gain or you know help out your nervous system. And so they're thinking that will possibly help my balance and my you know my dizziness. So I started taking that last Friday. So and I told her, I said, how long does that usually take effect? You know, before I would know, is that 6 months, a year, or 2 weeks? What? And they said you should probably know in about a month. You know, if it's working. So I've been taking it now for almost a week, and I'm hoping and praying that that helps. You know, but whether or not it does or not is you know, we don't know yet.
Who gave you that recommendation?
Oh, some herbal doctor.
Mm.
She told me, she said she doesn't feel like I need to do herbs or nothing, but she says that the the vitamin or the vitamin B will definitely help my nervous system. So that's what we're going with right now. And then when I get my hearing aids, apparently that will help with my, you know, could help with my balance issues too. So, you know, I'm hoping, you know, I'm willing to try about anything right now. I really am. I'm just trying to, I just need to I need to be able to walk. I mean, you know, without this dang walker, you
I
know,
am.
because this walker's just pissing me off. And I mean, I'm just irritated with it. I just
Do you
want to be
have
able to
like
get
the
up and,
old school, like the really basic one, or do you have ones with wheels on it?
yeah, I got one with wheels on it and everything, but I don't like it. I got to get away from it. I got to be able to get the hell out of my house. I got to be able to go do something. I got to be able to go take trash out. I got to be able to clean. I want to be able to sweep. I want to be able to do dishes. I want to be able to do. I got to be able to do something. I mean, I'm going nuts.
Because
You
the
know.
walker I bought when I had my back surgery last year, I loved it. It was like the brand was Driver. I got it on Amazon for like $130, and it had the big
Uh,
wheels, and it had where you could sit down on it. And it had a little, mesh bag that you could put stuff in it, and
Yeah.
it had the
This.
little it had the little thing on the back, so if you sat down you had back support, and
Yeah.
I loved it. It was like the best
This.
because I could go off. I wanted a walker I could go off-roading because I'd go to the arboretum and I'd be going through tall grass. I want to make sure I can
Yeah.
do this in a walker,
Yeah.
which I did.
This is identical to that. I mean,
Corey,
it's exact one.
hey Corey. Oh,
I can't do a walker. I mean, I've got to get away from it. I mean, I've
okay.
got to try. I've got to do something. You know, I got to get away from it.
Hey
Yeah,
Corey.
John.
Last meeting we talked about upright walkers, and they're
Yeah,
walkers that you use while you're standing straight up. Juan Carlos and I talked about. I was going to check in, like, hey, Juan Carlos, did you see one of those? Did you get one yet?
an
Because it's
upright walker.
No,
yeah. So
um,
you. Oh, say go ahead.
it has pads for your elbows, so you're more upright rather than doing this on top of
Yeah,
it.
like you're standing straight up, and all you're like
Yeah,
in
you're
a
like
cage of a
this.
walker. and then you
John,
just
can you
walk
find
around and
a John, can you
upright
find a
walker.
link and put it in the chat?
What do you think I am, the guy in the chair?
I know what you're doing. I just want to reiterate that's what you're doing. And I just
Yeah.
want to say, Corey, shout out to
Yeah.
you for having pain in your leg and actually like speaking up about it because that was really, really smart.
Well, I
'Cause-
had to because I didn't know if I pulled a muscle. I just didn't know what happened. I just knew it had been hurting since Monday, about 3, 4 days. And I wanted to tell my therapist about it. And then when I told my therapist, I told her, I said, I'm going to tell my doctor about it when I go tomorrow, which was last Friday. And I told her, I said, man, it hurts like hell. And then that's when she wanted to check it just to be for sure. And then they found that it was a blood clot. So, and she was concerned because, I don't have, my mobility, I don't have no more. I mean, I was, I always, go out, I work, I used to work, I was nonstop, so I never had to worry about it. But now I'm pretty much stuck to my chair, for the most part. I don't get out. I don't get to do nothing. So that's why I think she was concerned because I just don't have no mobility anymore. And that's why she wanted to check to make sure it wasn't a blood clot, and it was. So,
Yeah. And then I don't know, do you have the energy to do exercises in your chair?
uh, I could, yeah, probably a little bit. I mean, I could lift like, my son mentioned something about me getting some 5 pound dumbbells and doing stuff like that in my chair. And I got leg things I can do in my chair, from my therapist. She sent me some stuff to do.
Okay, so they are working on because that will hopefully potentially because because when you get real sedentary, everything kind of goes down the tubes. I mean, when I had my rotator cuff surgery in June and I was in a sling for 6 weeks, I learned you lose your range of motion. You get
Sure.
incredibly weak. It's mind-boggling how much you deteriorate by not using your muscles. So, if there's anything you can do to stay active, even if you can't be really standing or walking a lot, would be phenomenal. I know there's a bunch of groups for like Parkinson's and MS where they have different workouts online that you can do in the chair, and
Yeah,
that
sitting
might
Yeah.
yoga.
help.
And I want to be able to go back to the gym, but I
I
can't
know
because
you're going crazy. You're going crazy. You can get back to the gym. My gym is a I call it a special gym. It's for like seniors and people with medical issues. That's like their crowd. There's no super athletes at my gym. There could be four walkers parked next to the pool. That's
uh,
my gym. You could potentially find a gym that works with people who have, chronic illnesses that will be phenomenal to help you like lift weights and be active and like get on like a stationary bike, or they have that it's like a new step where it's like an elliptical machine but you sit down and you do
yeah,
the with the arms and the legs. I mean, there are certain things, but you have to find because not all personal trainers or gyms are equal, treated equally. But the place that I go is phenomenal. When they gave me a routine last fall, I was completely
Great.
blown away. They like listened to everything I said, and they know what they're doing. And I will go back to them once I get cleared to go back and have no weight restrictions. So probably toward the end of the year, I will go back to
okay,
them so I feel comfortable lifting weights again and doing those things. Because
okay,
I'll be like, oh my gosh, am I gonna mess up my shoulder, or I don't want to screw things up. So, but yeah, just keep
yeah,
that because you have the will. You're wanting to you know, be active. So find creative ways to be active. And I love to be, most pools, if you can't walk, they have the thing that you can sit in and you can get in and out of the pool. If you like the water, the pool is a major, I love being in the pool.
Kim, I'm not even sure I can swim anymore. I
No,
mean,
you don't
I
have
don't
to
know.
Oh no,
you don't have to
you're not
swim, but
gonna.
I'm just saying being able to
Oh,
like kind of walk in the water or be able to float. Like I do a bunch of
oh,
exercises with the pool noodles. I love
okay,
doing core workouts, doing the crunches in the pool. There's something phenomenal about those for me. Um,
okay.
Yeah,
so
they don't just
Like I,
toss you in the lake.
yeah, we
like I
just
said,
don't put you in the deep end and like, do your thing,
yeah. Like I
But
said,
just
I want to be able to work out again, but the thing is, I can't stand because when I can't stand by myself because I just shake. I mean, my legs are just shaking. I can't. I don't have nothing to. I don't have no balance. Like I said, my legs are just shaking. I gotta sit down. So I just don't have no way to do anything until hopefully this medicine kicks or helps me.
maybe your physical therapist can recommend a place that you can go, or they have creative ideas on things that you can do
Sure.
to still be active, but you know, doing it, sitting down or another way. You just gotta
Yeah.
sometimes you gotta think outside the box. It's like,
Sure.
oh, but I want to run. It's like, yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
tweak
Well.
it a little bit here.
Well. Let me tell you something. The only running in my future will be if somebody throws a snake at me, and I got to try it, and then I'm probably going to fall, and then I'm probably going to have to crawl away.
You're gonna have to slither away.
Well, no, I'm scared of death snakes, so I'm going to crawl. I'm gonna get on my hands and knees, and I'm going to crawl as fast as I can out of there.
I
Corey,
used
That's
to
all
be
I want.
terrified.
That's all I wanted to tell you tonight.
Okay,
my
well, I'm
mom
glad.
had problems with blood clots in her legs, and the heart doctor told her one of the best things she could do was called gas pedals. It's like you're pushing on the gas with your feet and then off the gas, on the gas, off the gas. He said that's one of the best things she could do for her circulation.
Moving her foot to help.
Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
because it gets your blood flowing, and if you're sedentary, you're going to be prone to blood clot. So,
I like the exercises you do on the plane when you're on the plane for many hours. Like,
yeah.
what do you do to keep your circulation?
Well, thanks, Sherry.
That's a great idea. Anyone else? Then we'll go to John next. John?
Before
Hi.
Okay,
we
go
go
ahead,
to
Ella.
John,
Been one of those.
just something really quick that I wanted to say to Corey. Um, I would recommend that you talk to your doctor to do some blood tests in regards to finding out if you have any uh, vitamin deficiencies rather than just taking whatever in whatever amount. Because sometimes we don't know what we don't know. Sometimes we do have deficiencies like vitamin D, vitamin D, potassium, whatever. And having deficiencies will make a big difference in regards to what your body will allow you to do. And there are also like